Okay, this is AAT Sample Assessment 2 from page 10. Let me just check, sorry. From page number 101 from your workbook, AAT Sample Assessment 2 and to task 2.1. Copied pasted the question here and let's see what is this task about. New place. Today's date is 28th of March. New place holds inventory of office equipment at 3 separate stores. Identical product lists have been used to perform a stock take at each store. So they have 3 separate stores. You can see store 1, store 2 and store 3. The results are shown in the worksheet labeled store 1, store 2, store 3. Mo Hussain wants to identify high value items in inventory and also the value of inventory that new place holds for non-furniture suppliers. Open the renamed spreadsheet. In the worksheet called summary, column B needs to show the quantity of each inventory that new place holds in total across the 3 stores. So in summary, in column B, you need to calculate the total inventory held across the 3 stores. That means you need to add the total of like A4 bream white 80 grams from store 1 plus store 2 plus store 3. So you have to add data from 3 different stores, and they specifically asked not to use consolidate function to do that, but we will discuss what is consolidate function on Friday's class. So let's take a look at that. First calculate the total. So equal to store 1, put your mathematical operator, store 2, put your mathematical operator, store 3. So you're adding the data from store 1 B3, store 2 B3 and store 3 B3, thus adding the total stock available across the 3 stores. Then just copy paste this into the next cells and all the information will be calculated. In column D of the same worksheet, use formula to calculate the total cost of each inventory item and the total cost of all inventory held. In column D, total cost of each inventory item. You got the total number of stock, multiply it with the cost, that will give you the total inventory cost for all the inventory items. Do it for everything. That's the first section done. In the summary worksheet, freeze rows 1 and 2 of the headings so that the headings remain visible when scrolling down the list. So like when you are scrolling down the list, everything is going. But what they want you to do is they want you to freeze these 2 rows so that when you're scrolling, these 2 headings are always visible. When you want to freeze the first 2 rows, you always choose your 3rd row. So click on the 3rd row and then view and freeze panes. There will be an option to freeze panes. Not here. Sorry, just let me see. Some changes in the formats. Normal panes. Oh, there it is, sorry. View, freeze panes and click on freeze panes. So when you do that, now let's see if you scroll down, you can see the first 2 rows are not moving. So when they ask you to freeze 2 rows, don't try to freeze those 2 rows. Use the 3rd row and then freeze it. That means these first 2 will remain frozen and everything else you can move. If they want you to freeze A and B, then choose the row C and then use the same option, freeze panes. Okay, so always use the next row to freeze the panes or the next column. To identify the high value items of inventory, in cell C6, enter a formula that will count the number of items where the cost of a single item of inventory exceeds 800. So here you have cost of all your items. Some items are costing £1.80, some items are costing £2.50 and so on. But if you scroll down, some items are even costing you 200, 300, 480 also. So they want you to count and see all the items which are costing more than 800 and they want you to put this formula in C76. So equal to formulas, logical, there is a function called count if. Okay, so that is what we want to look for. So we only want to count if a value is greater than a certain number. So I'm looking for that formula, which is count if. So let me see where I can find them. Okay, let's say insert function, still logical. Insert, and let's type here count if, and there it is, count if. Say OK. Range, select your range from where to where you are checking it. I think you are starting in C3 onwards, I think. C3 to up to C75. Criteria should be greater than 800. So it will only count if a value is greater than 800. Say OK. So and it is telling you that there are only 3 values which are greater than 800. Next one. So that section is done. 1 mark. An analysis is required of the value of the inventory the new place holds for non-furniture suppliers. For all the inventory items in the worksheet except any item supplied by DJ Furniture, insert a pivot chart and pivot table. Produce a pivot chart for total inventory cost for these suppliers. So look at the values what you need to include in the pivot chart. Pivot chart for total inventory cost for suppliers. So these are the only 2 things we need: inventory cost and suppliers. So go to the summary sheet. Select the first cell of your data and click on Insert, Pivot Chart and Pivot Table. And the items what you want to see is supplied by and total inventory cost. But they said that in this particular information, they don't want to find out information from DJ Furniture. They said all inventory item in the summary worksheet except for DJ Furniture, because DJ Furniture is a furniture supplier and they only want to see non-furniture suppliers. So you want to remove DJ Furniture out of this particular information. Oops, sorry, opened the wrong sheet. Did our chart already form? I was just doing it. That was quick. Oh, this is our chart. This chart should not be here. This was done by mistake, I think. Let me remove this. Okay. So there we have. This was a chart what we have done. Now here every data is coming. Even DJ Furniture is also coming. But they don't want to see DJ Furniture. So when you have here supplied by, click on this arrow mark. Unclick on DJ Furniture and also unclick on this blank cell which might be the total. And then say OK. And now you can only see data of all the non-furniture suppliers. Okay. Now let's see what else we need to do. Rename this worksheet NFS Inventory. So rename this sheet NFS Inventory. So rename it NFS Inventory. Show the row labels in pivot Z to A in descending order. Z to A, but they are in ascending order. So let's take a look if we can do that. Yep, Z to A. So you can see they're sorted in a different order now. Change the chart to 3D exploded pie. They want you to change this to 3D exploded pie. Click on your chart, go to the design, change chart type, pie chart and 3D pie. Say OK. So that is your 3D pie, but they wanted you to explode it. So select your pie chart. There should be some table coming up over here. Right click. Let's use 3D explosion. There should be a 3D explosion in here, so I'm looking for that. 3D rotation is coming. If 3D explosion is anytime not showing up, you can explode it yourself by taking apart some of the items. So just pull out this one outside, pull out this one outside, pull out this one outside a little bit, and pull out that one outside. That is your exploded pie chart. Exploded pie chart means all the elements of the pie are coming out separately. Okay, so that is 3D exploded pie chart. Add percentages to all the segments. So they want you to add percentages to all the segments. So that is your data labels. So add chart element, data labels. Let's add them on the outside end, but they want you to look them as percentages. So right click them, format data labels into percentage only. We do not value any values. And that's done. Percentages are being added. Change York Retail segment only to bright yellow in color. York Retail to bright yellow. So York Retail is currently in like a brownish color. You want it to change that only to bright yellow. So right click and bright yellow. That's done. 3D rotate the pie so that York Retail segment is shown on the right side of the pie. So they want you to rotate it now so it is shown on the right side. It's already on the right side only, but let's see if we can rotate it a little bit more. Right click, 3D rotation, Y, view, no, that is going towards that side. X rotation. So now it is towards the right side, you can see. It's towards the right side. So that's your 3D rotation. Extract and explode only Royal York Retail segment from the rest of the pie chart. Previously they wanted exploded pie and now they want to explode only York Retail. It's a mistake in the question. If they only want to explode this one, they should not ask for exploded pie. Okay. So let's put all of this together again. Only this one want to be exploded. So we put only the York Retail a little bit out now. Resize the pie chart so that all elements can be clearly be seen. So all segments are clearly seen. Just resize it, make it a little bit bigger. Add the following title: Total Inventory Cost for Non-Furniture Suppliers. Total inventory cost for non-furniture suppliers. Total inventory cost for non-furniture suppliers. Move the chart legend to the bottom right hand corner. This is your legend. Move it to the bottom right hand corner. Sorry, not the chart, only the legend. That's it, bottom right hand corner. So this is all done. Let's continue to the next section. In the summary worksheet, apply data validation for the whole of the column E so that only the list of approved suppliers shown in cell G3 and G7 can be used in drop-down box for each cell. When you choose any cell in column E, the message "Please choose from the drop-down list" should appear. A suitable warning should be shown if the user tries to manually enter a supplier that is not on the approved list. We done a similar task sometime previously also. So in column E, they only want to see the approved suppliers list. So we have 5 approved suppliers. Apply sorry, some mistake here. Let's delete this. Apply data validation everywhere together. You don't want to do it one by one. Then data and data validation. Allow a list, and the source for this list is coming from G3 to G7. Input message, please choose from drop down box. An error alert, only approved suppliers are allowed. And say OK. And now you can see everywhere you go, message is coming, drop down is coming, and if you try to type something else, it will say only approved suppliers are allowed. So that's the data validation done. Ensure only the list of approved suppliers in GEL G3 to G7 is protected using the password 123 so that nobody can change the list without this code. They want you to protect only these cells. Okay, so follow your steps again. Unlock all the cells first. Format, protection, unlock. Then only protect G3 to G7. Right click, format cells, locked. Okay, and now review, protect sheet, password 123. Okay, 123. Okay. If you type here, it will say it is protected, but anywhere else you can type. And that is your task 2.1 completed. We got a summary sheet, we got a pie chart. Thank you.